and you have logged on to Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Williams, and I'm the Director of Care Navigation here at Four Seasons, the Care You Trust. And I'm joined today by a very special guest. But first, we try to create this space on most Mondays to talk about issues associated with living well and aging well, and perhaps how Four Seasons may be able to help. And I think the topic today is of great interest to many of you out there. So stay tuned with us. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please call us at 866-466-9734 or go to our website. Lots of information there. fourseasonscare.org. Spell out the number four, FOURSEASONSCARE.org. Or you can drop comments or questions in the box from whichever platform you're viewing, and we will respond to you there. So I have to say before we go any further that we are so grateful to the Van Winkle Law Firm for serving as our title sponsor for Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. The Van Winkle Law Firm is one of the most established and respected law firms in North Carolina, providing exceptional legal representation from personal matters to individuals, families, and businesses in personal, commercial, business, and estate planning matters. I particularly interface with the Van Winkle Law Firm for that. If you have any questions or would like to schedule a consult, please go to the website www.vwlawfirm.com, and that'll show up in the first comment box here. But we're just so grateful for their support. Thank you all very much. Well, I am thrilled for you to meet my friend Jan Nickerson, and you'll see why you want to listen to this here in just a minute. Jan, I know how I met you. You know who you are. Tell us about Jan.
In a word, the word that describes me is trailblazer. So throughout my career as a CPA, as a chief financial officer, and then a creativity consultant, and then an executive search consultant, and then an outplacement counselor.
Mhm.
That encompasses my career. I've morphed my career throughout, and I've been the first woman to do this, the first
Mm.
CPA to do this, whatever. So that's the career side. In terms of activities, I have a passion for learning, and so that passion for learning has transcended into taking a lot of classes throughout my career and my life. And actually, I'm still working. But then also at OLLI, OSHA Lifelong Learning Institute at UNC Asheville. I take 12 courses a semester there, and I'm so love what I learn, and the instructors that are instructing. I often will tap them to lead sessions at Blue Ridge Center for Lifelong Learning and at the Aging in Place Special Interest Group of OLLI. I program for them, and then in my spare time, I love to play games. We just had 3 games marathons the weekend after Christmas, and on New Year's Day, we invited all of our neighbors over to play games, and we played from 9 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night.
That sounds like a blast.
And then in my spare time, I love to knit and crochet.
Beautiful work too.
Thank you. Yes, that is one
Absolutely.
of mine.
Well, Jan has another claim to fame, and that is her daughter works with us as well at Four Seasons. And her name is Jenna, and she's wonderful. But
Yes.
anyway, I learned from Jan that she has a huge passion. She's very incredibly expertly self-taught
Yes.
on CCRCs. And because this is a conversation, Jan, that my clients ask, and I see it on lots of blogs out there, people, what's the best for me? How do I find one?
Yep.
Jan is incredibly self taught and lives in one of the communities here locally. So I'm going to ask her some questions.
And let me first
Sure.
say, what is a CCRC? And then how did I learn about CCRCs?
Go
If
for
I
it.
might. So CCRC is an acronym for Continuing Care Retirement Community. And what that means is that on one campus, as we age from being able to live independently to maybe needing some assistance to needing skilled nursing 24/7, we don't have to go figure out in our 80s and 90s where we're going to go. We've already got that figured out because it's right here on campus. and we can go across the street and we can start familiarizing ourselves with what it's like there. So that's what a CCRC is on one campus, there's a continuing care.
Mhm.
How I learned about it is, first of all, I started off with all these myths. I was thinking it was religious based. I was thinking they were all high rises, they were all small units, that they were all too expensive for us. And so I took a course at Ollie, at UNC Asheville, on CCRCs. And over 8 sessions, we visited 5 CCRCs for 4 hours each one.
Wow.
And we got to talk to residents, we talked to management, we got to tour the place, we got to ask questions, and that was invaluable. So that was 5 CCRCs. My husband and I actually visited 13 CCRCs and evaluated 31. So
Wow.
I did a Google search for CCRCs, not only in Western North Carolina, but in other parts of North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia. I wanted to cover all the area space around Western North Carolina. And we developed a very comprehensive set of criteria for evaluating CCRCs and ended up narrowing it down to 2. So, and we're very, very happy in the one that we chose to move into 7 years ago.
Wow. And you should feel the sunshine coming in here. This is a
Yeah.
perfect spot for it. Well, why would someone want to move into a continuing care retirement community or a CCRC? We'll just go with abbreviation now.
So for me, the primary reason is to not put off the ultimate decision that you are likely to have to make, which is if I need assistance, where am I going to find it?
Right.
It's extremely difficult and expensive to find in-home assistance. And frankly, will we have the wherewithal, the wits about us to figure that out when it's in a time of need? So the phrase that I love is 2 hours too soon is better than 2 minutes too late.
All right. So now you have to unpack that phrase.
And so that just, I'm a planner. So I like to anticipate what risks might happen in the future, what my needs might be in the future, what resources are available to them. And I like to plan for that.
Yes.
And so the 2 hours too soon is all about, it's better to go identify where you want to be living for the rest of your life or the next stages and set up your plans now. They're not concrete. You can always change your mind.
Right.
But at least research it now while you have your wits about you and figure out what your alternatives are and make some choices. In the case of CCRCs, that might look like, well, I'm not ready to move now. Okay, well, go ahead and evaluate which options, and then there might be non-CCRC options and CCRC options. There's a wait list at CCRCs. The wait list can be 5 and 7 years. And if you want the mountain view from a particular unit, who knows how long you might have to wait for that particular unit.
Yeah, repeat that again, how long that wait list might be.
So that wait list it's common to be 5 to 7 years.
Just to be able to get ready to move in.
Just for there to be a unit available for you because so many other people are in that wait list already. I mean, think about it. We've got this baby boomer wave and they're thinking about where they're going to be living, as are you and so, we're not alone and there's only a limited number of CCRCs out there.
Right.
So to apply for a CCRC, and there are conditions. You have to be financially able to afford it.
Right.
You have to have your health about you. They're not going to take somebody who already needs skilled nursing into independent living. You need to demonstrate you can live independently. So you've got health, you've got financial, and so you submit an application. And if you are accepted, which most people are, then you have to put down typically $1,000. Some places it's $2,000 wait list deposit. In most cases, you're going to get that back if you don't go there, or it will apply against you going there if you do go there. So it's not that troublesome to narrow down to 2 or maybe 3 CCRCs. Put a wait list deposit down now, and then you can start participating in activities there.
Right.
You can dine there if they offer dining facilities, and get to meet some people who will be your lifelong friends.
Right, and that's some of the benefits of, if you're even on the wait list for a CCRC, participate in the life of the community.
Absolutely.
They want you to
Right.
do
Right.
that, and that
Right.
probably helped you a lot in your
Actually,
selection.
in our case, we were very fortunate. Within 6 months, 7 months of our applying, 4 units opened up, and this is a small CCRC with
Wow.
only 72 units, so that was highly unusual. And when we saw this particular unit that we're in, we said, we have a choice now. We're not going to have that choice in the future. One will come up. Do you want this one? And so we just came earlier than we planned on. And it so echoed what every single resident that we had met in all those other 13 CCRCs, the residents we met there all said, don't wait. Don't wait
Mm.
until you think you need it. Come now, because you're going to find activities and friends, and you'll enjoy being here.
And that really illustrates, 2 days too soon is better than 2 minutes too
Absolutely.
late. That's perfect.
So every resident we met said, don't wait. And I echo that. Don't wait. Come on and enjoy your independent living now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while you can.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what CCRCs are in the area? We are in Western North Carolina, for those of you viewing nationally, you know that. But what CCRCs are in our area?
So in our area, Givens Communities has both Givens Estates and Givens Highland Farms
Right.
as CCRCs. Both are outstanding. They're excellent. I think the world of them. And then Deerfield is right near Givens Estates, right within Asheville proper, and that's also, it's a very high end, desirable CCRC. Um, uh, Arden Woods is in Arden. They are a CCRC, although they don't have skilled nursing on site. There is a skilled nursing facility right down the road from them. Carolina Village is in Hendersonville, another excellent independent CCRC. In Polk County, we have Tryon Estates, highly reputed. So we are lucky to have some very fortunate ones. There's a brand new one, which is not yet taken occupancy, but they are breaking ground, and that is Legacy at Mills River, is one right in Mills River. So we're lucky to have that many, and frankly, we need more.
Yeah, actually, we have one more.
Which one would I miss?
Pisgah Estates.
I'm sorry, Pisgah Valley. So I live at Pisgah Valley Retirement Community. We're in Candler, inside Buncombe County. We are one of the smaller ones. We have fewer amenities. It was originally designed for a place for ministers and teachers to retire to, and so it's attracted a culture of people who give to others.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful culture to live in.
And it's a nice, these are all lovely communities that you listed.
Right.
Well, what does this usually cost? I mean, because I know people listening, you're seeing dollar signs floating in front of your eyes.
Right.
It's surprisingly affordable in some cases. So give us your thoughts.
My first exposure to a CCRC was my godmother, who sold her house and took all of her house proceeds, and she gave them to the CCRC, and she got to live there for life.
Wow.
And plus, pay a monthly maintenance fee. So that's kind of my orientation, is you take the proceeds from your house, and that's what you invest in a CCRC, and that amount can be anywhere. And this is a broad range from $150,000 to $1 million, very broad range. So that $1 million will buy you use of a 2 or 3 bedroom independent living cottage, and the 150,000 will buy you a 900 square foot apartment. And so, a couple of things that really drive what that price is. One is it high end with a lot of amenities, or is it your basics without a lot of amenities? And we can talk about what amenities are. The second thing that drives it is, do you get it back? So all of these entrance fees, is what we call them, are either with a 0% refund, a 50% refund, or a 90% refund. A lot of CCRCs will offer all 3 options.
Mhm.
Now they're going to charge you more for 90% refund, where you're going to get 90% of that money back. They're going to charge you less for 0%. So some people say, I think I can invest my money better. I'm going to go for the 0%.
Sure.
And other people say, I just want to put, that the 100% in. And what's nice to know is when I die or when I leave here for whatever reason, I or my beneficiaries are going to get 90% of that back.
Right.
So, typically, I would say you're looking in the ballpark of 300,000 to 500,000. And then that whole range goes anywhere from 150, 170,000 up to over $1 million.
Oh, yes, and it really does range. And
Right.
people like Jan have done the homework on all of these. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
go ahead.
So in addition to that entrance fee, just like when you are at home, you're paying the mortgage, you're paying property taxes, you're paying insurance, you're paying for maintenance. All of those things are included. And so there's also anywhere from a $2,000 to a $7,000 a month maintenance fee. And that covers all those services. In some cases, that also covers some meals.
Yeah.
And so, the main thing, sometimes people say, oh, I can't afford a CCRC. And what I say to them is, you need to sit down and think about, what is it going to cost, everything all in for where you live now?
Right.
What is it going to cost in your 80s if you need somebody else doing the maintenance, somebody else doing the housekeeping, somebody else doing the food shopping, somebody else
Doing the yard work.
doing the yard work, all of those things, paying the bills. So add up what those charges are, and that's what you need to be comparing for apples to apples. And so people who say, I can't afford a CCRC, you need to figure out, can you afford to age?
Right.
That's the question.
That's and
And I find living in a CCRC can be more affordable than aging at home.
there you go. So just do the numbers, right?
Do the numbers.
Do the math
Right.
for yourself.
Right.
It might be surprisingly affordable for
Right.
you.
Right.
I love that, Jan. So you already mentioned the waiting list. So there's always
Yes.
everywhere I go, there's a wait list, and
Right.
that's a question I get. I love these communities. But is there a downside to living in a CCRC? There's benefits and burdens both ways, I'm sure.
Right. So, somebody who, I haven't even thought through answers to this, but one of the first ones that come up is food.
Yeah.
Is if you have particular, I'm vegan or
Gluten-free is a big one.
gluten-free, they're accommodating, the dining facilities are accommodating gluten-free, they're accommodating vegetarian, but it's a more limited choice. And so if you are somebody who is particularly particular about your dining, and you love to cook and you want to cook for yourself, or you've got a food service that delivers meals for 6 dinners a night, which is what we do, then maybe you want to have choose a CCRC that gives you more options in the food. You don't have to pay for food that you're not eating.
Right.
In the case of Pisgah Valley, we don't have a required meal plan. There is a dining room across the street. We can have any meal we want for $12 a meal. We choose not to. So then, I would also bring this around to somebody for whom dining with others is extremely important. That's part of their need for socialization. They're socializing with others. Let's say you're a solo ager.
Right.
You don't have a partner that you're living with, and so you want to go to the dining room.
Right.
Then I think that's also a criteria to consider. So food is one. I would say, if you're and really enjoy doing your own landscaping, doing your own gardening, make sure that the CCRC accommodates that. Some will have community plots,
Right.
which we certainly do. Some of which will permit you, with permission, to grow whatever you want around the perimeter of your unit if you have a ground floor unit.
So it just, again, look into the details and the amenities. These are some of the amenities you're mentioning. And if that works with you, fine. Or if that doesn't work with you,
Right.
that's okay too.
Right.
Well, you have another interesting phrase. And I believe this. If you've seen one CCRC, you've seen one CCRC. Unpack that for us a little
Absolutely,
bit.
absolutely. So let me do that with some examples. So Deerfield has 2 pools. In addition to a dining room and a private dining room, they have a bistro. They have a pottery studio with a kiln. They have a woodworking with all the woodworking. They've got a weaving studio with looms. They are high end. That's a lot. No other CCRC locally has all of that. So, so on the other side, Pisgah has, some of the fewest amenities. We have a community center with 2 rooms. We have games. We've got movies. We've got speakers coming in. We've got potlucks, but we don't have the investment in all of those other kinds. So that would be one end of the scale. Another end of the scale is the the size. We've got 72 independent living units here with 118 skilled nursing beds. Givens and Deerfield have over 500 independent living
Easily.
with closer to 60
Yeah.
skilled nursing. So their skilled nursing is designed just for those people who are moving up from independent living. Whereas Pisgah's skilled nursing is open to the public. Half of it is for rehab, half of it is for long-term care. And so that's another difference is that kind of business model. Another business model difference is whether how much you pay every month changes if you go from independent living to assisted living to skilled nursing. Both Carolina Village and Deerfield are what we call a type A contract. And if you need additional skilled assistance, so you're moving from your independent living unit, you're moving to another room, which is assisted living floor, or you're moving to the skilled nursing, your monthly rate doesn't change. If you are in a fee for service type C, like Givens Estates, Highland Farms, and Pisgah Valley, then you pay a lower rate because you don't need as much services when you're in independent living. When you're in assisted living, you need more services, you pay more. And you're in skilled nursing, you pay more because you're getting more. So you need to be aware of this when otherwise you're comparing apples to oranges.
Right. Well, I love that because, and she mentioned the types of contracts, and you can Google those, the type of CCRC contracts. There are about 5 types.
Yes.
But just look at the fine
Right.
print wherever you are.
The other types are rental, where you just pay a deposit and then you pay a monthly fee. And then another type is equity, where you actually have title to your property. And at the time that you sell it, then whatever increase in value,
it's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's like that legacy is going to be like that.
Yes.
So there are all types out there. Look at those contracts closely. Those are great examples. So who wouldn't be right for a CCRC? And you kind of flirted with that a little bit in terms of the food preferences or the
Food
social
preferences, the
preferences.
social preferences.
Anything else?
I would say somebody has an attitude of being highly entitled.
We do run into those.
Yeah, because this is a community. It's a neighborhood. It's a community. We help each other out. At least that's my experience here.
And you live in such close proximity to each other.
Close proximity. Somebody who's going to play a lot of loud music. I mean, I can't hear my neighbors. The walls have good soundproofing. Somebody who had more than 2 dogs.
Okay.
Somebody who had a breed dog that is distinguished as being aggressive.
Right.
Wouldn't be good. Somebody who, it's interesting. Somebody who already has some frailties, already has some mild cognitive impairment, which is kind of a precursor to dementia. The type A type CCRCs won't admit them.
Right. No.
once you're admitted, they're not going to kick you out, so you have to, whereas the type C, Pisgah Valley, uh, Givens Highland Farms will admit if you have mild cognitive impairment and possibly even dementia. Our neighbors, we've got one neighbor, a couple where he had Parkinson's. We have another neighbor who has multiple sclerosis. We have another neighbor who has advanced dementia. So where there's a partner there to support them, that works.
Yeah.
But I think you'd have to make special disposition for that.
And just so everybody knows, before you are, even though you're on a wait list, just because you're on a wait list doesn't mean when it's time you think you're ready that you'll be admitted, even if there's an opening, because there has to be a fit for the community to be able to provide services for you.
So at that time so there's both at the wait list deposit time and then at the time where you're ready to choose or be chosen for a unit, you have to fulfill the financial and the health criteria at that time.
And it's the health one that sometimes is the one that says this isn't a fit right now. And the community is not, it doesn't want you. It's what's best for you and the community's ability to care for you.
That's true.
That's important. Well, I think we've got, what are some common misconceptions? I think we just hit some of the misconceptions of a CCRC, that you have to be wealthy. You don't necessarily have to be wildly wealthy.
Right, exactly. So if you've got, equity from your home that you can put in and afford that $200,000 or $300,000 initial entrance fee, particularly anticipating, I'm going to be able to leave this to my kids. I'm going to be able to have this as a nest egg if I need it for health reasons, and to pay the skilled nursing bill if I live into my 90s and my money is run out. So there's the affordability. There's the religious. I had this myth that CCRCs are religious, and most of them did start with a religious undertone. Deerfield Episcopal, Givens Methodist,
this one,
Pisgah Valley Seventh-day Adventist. And so I was concerned that I was going to be excluded if I wasn't in religion, and I'm not religious. And it's important to me to not feel excluded. So for every single CCRC we evaluated, we tested out, how religious are you? And in every single case, there are people of all religions and denominations, or atheist, Buddhist, you name it, agnostic. And I like a diversity. So I've been able to check off that box, but and every CCRC I've looked at, but you need to do it for yourself.
Right.
So and I would say if you are Presbyterian, it's really important to you to have a Presbyterian base, then look for that and you'll find it.
There are communities out there.
There are, absolutely. So religion is one. Size unit is one. I thought I was only going to be looking at these 900 square foot, 1,000 square foot units. We were coming from a house that had, over 2,000 square feet. And so you can, if you're willing to pay for it, you can find cottages up to 3,000 square feet. Every single unit at Pisgah is 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. And so that's 2 bedrooms. That's an open kitchen. It's a den. It's a patio in the back. It's a sunroom, 10 feet by 30 feet. It's a single car garage. It's storage area, and it's a front patio. That's a lot of space. We didn't have to do a lot of downsizing to make this work for us. So that's space-wise. And then there are units that are just 900 square feet, condo type, apartment type. So set up your criteria and then evaluate what's out there. So space is a big different myth. What else a myth?
Cost is generally the big one, or affordability.
Affordability.
That's really the
right. High rise. I thought that they were all going to be high rises. You can get ground floor. You can get, right now I'm in a duplex, and all of the units here are one level, straight and a wheelchair can go right in.
Yeah. Oh, they're all very accessible, or what we call
Accessible.
universal design anymore.
Right, exactly.
So you can live and function in these communities.
Right.
Well, how can our listeners learn more about CCRCs?
That's a great question.
She's an expert, but
Right.
if you're not local.
So having started off learning from a course, I highly recommend a course. So Ollie UNC Asheville has a course that's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. Costs a couple of $100. It's well worth it. So go Google Ollie UNC Asheville CCRC, and you'll come across the course. And I highly recommend that.
Sure.
Blue Ridge Center for Lifelong Learning has a course that's going to be offered in September of this year, a 3-session course that also is very, very strong in identifying what are all the criteria you might want to be considering for developing, choosing a CCRC. And I will be leading that course. So there's courses. We are very fortunate in North Carolina to have a very strong regulatory agency. So NC, North Carolina Department of Insurance, NCDOI. If you Google CCRC, NCDOI, you will come to their website that not only has information about CCRCs, it's got the law. North Carolina has one of the strongest laws in the country, and law. So what do you want to be protected against? You want to be protected against a CCRC developer who's going to take your money and not deliver on it, and take that money and invest it in other developments and run out of money. And that almost happened 2 years ago at Aldersgate. And so the laws have been strengthened since then. Just this past year, the law was strengthened.
And if you go to that website, ncdoi.gov, it really sets it up to compare apples to apples. For each, each one has information on certain criteria.
So
which is very helpful.
There is an extract for every single, I think, what are there? 65, there are at least 65 CCRCs in North Carolina. So there's an extract on each one. There's a disclosure statement for every year on each one. A typical disclosure statement is 85 to 115 pages long. Financial statements, management, contract, all the information, so that if you're wondering what does it cost, you don't have to wait to go talk to the marketing director. You can find out that information there. Although with such a range, you still need somebody to help you narrow it down. So there's that information. And then there's also tabular information. So it's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet where you can say, what are all the ones that have 90% refunds? What are all the ones that are a type A contract or a type C contract? What are all the ones in Buncombe County? So it makes it really easy to sort it down. So if you're looking in Western North Carolina, or if you're looking anywhere in North Carolina, that's a great source. There are a couple of organizations that support CCRCs that are, well, actually, there's one there's a couple nationwide, and one of them is seniorliving.org, and one is mylifesite.net. That's spelled MYLIFESITE.net. So those are a couple ones for national and overall coverage. One of the things that you probably wouldn't have access to, but you can find out about, is North Carolina has an association just for CCRC residents.
Wow.
It's called NORCRA, NORCCRA, Continuing Care Resident Association. And each of the 65 CCRCs has a representative who is on their board of directors. I'm the representative for Pisgah Valley. And so that gives us the opportunity to easily communicate with each other. How much did your rates go up last year?
Right.
And how was my CCRC on the high side or the low side? What are your bylaws? What amenities do you offer? So we can compare notes. So they actually, our dues go to paying a lobbyist who lobbies on behalf of residents, not CCRC owners, not CCRC administrators, but the residents.
I love that.
And that helped passed a law which strengthened the regulations for CCRC residents.
Wow. Well, I don't know about you, Jan. I know you've done all the homework and landed here, but I think we're very fortunate here in Western North Carolina. We have some great communities.
We do.
We
Yes.
really do.
Yes.
In proximity to where you and I are sitting, including where we are sitting.
And there are a lot of CCRCs in Florida. There are a lot of CCRCs
They're
in
all
South
over the
Carolina.
country.
They are all over the country.
But we've got some good ones here.
Yes.
Is there anything that we've forgotten? This is a wonderful conversation.
One of the things I just thought of, I want to make a point of is it's not an irreversible decision. Putting down a wait list deposit, worst case, you're not going to get $1,000 back if it's one of the ones CCRCs that don't give you a refund. So you go and invest a waiting list deposit and your time in choosing 2 or 3. Even if you decide, okay, we're going to move in, it's 3 years later, we've chosen the unit, our moving van, we've sold our house, our moving van has brought everything in. And what if you have buyer's remorse?
Yeah.
Most CCRCs offer what's called a declining balance return of your investment over the first, whether it's 18 months or 24 months or 43 months. So find out about that. And to me, even though we didn't have buyer's remorse, there's something about putting that much money down and what if, playing the what if game.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that there is that. And then if you take the 50% refund or the 90% refund, and if your living needs change, you want to be near your kids in South Carolina, or whatever. If you've got that refund percentage, you can get that much back, and you can move.
Yeah. So there are lots of options.
And now another option on top of that is, just because you're in a continuing care retirement community that offers assisted living, that doesn't limit you to choosing that place for assisted living. Just because you've got a CCRC that offers skilled nursing, you're not limited to that. And one other thing which is growing, and I'm sure that you've run into this, are the ability to age in place in your independent living unit within your CCRC, to bring in a home health aide 4 hours a day for medication management or something, and allow you to continue to age in place at your independent living unit within CCRCs. This phrase, age in place, people think of as aging in place in your current home. That's not my orientation toward it. My orientation is aging in place in the home you choose.
That's exactly right. And that, by the way, is its own big topic, because that's, pay attention to that phrase. We're going to hear it as all of us boomers. I'm in there with you. Come along. That's going to be a big deal. You're right.
Yeah.
Jan, you're a treasure.
Thank you.
She is loaded with information. She is a trailblazer. She really is.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for those of you who are watching, I hope each of you at least got one pearl from what Jan shared with you. Just one piece of information that you thought was really valuable. Take it and move forward with it, right?
And you have a chat, so if people want to ask questions.
I haven't seen anything pop up right now, but we can get back to you.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Frequently people watch later in the day.
Right.
Well, I want to thank my special guest, Jan Nickerson, who's nestled in here at Pisgah Valley Estates. But she's just a wonderful local resource. And if you want to know more about what Jan does through OLLI, OLLI, go to the website there, or the Blue Ridge Center for Lifelong Learning, go to that website. And Henderson County, she's chock full of sharing and connecting people with information so that you all can live.
I love to do that.
This is her specialty.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, absolutely. And thank you for joining me today on our first Monday in January. And as always, if you have questions about Four Seasons, call us at 866-466-9734, or please go to our website, which is fourseasonscare.org. Lots of information for you there. And so join me next Monday, January the 12th. Find out where I will be for another topic associated with living well and aging well. And thank you. Have a wonderful day. And thank you, Jan.
Have a wonderful day.
All right.